Congrats, Mama. You and your baby are ready to take on finger foods. It is a big milestone, but how do you know which finger foods are going to work best? I'm Sunny. I'm with New Mommy Media, and I'm joined today by Mallory Millet. She's an infant feeding specialist, and her website is The Feeding Mom. Hi, Mallory. Thanks for being with us today.
Hello. Excited to be here.
All right. Well, Mallory, let's first talk about starting finger foods. What do you recommend and why? What should parents be looking for?
So it's going to depend on age, right? Everything depends on age. If you are, well, not really age, but more where they are with their mouth development. So let me say that if they have teeth, then that, and not front teeth, if they have their molar teeth, that is going to change the types of food that we offer. So if they're younger, between 4 or 6 months, sometimes even to 8 months, we don't have these kind of teeth erupting. Then raw veggies, big raw veggies in a puree is really going to work that jaw. They won't be able to bite pieces off. And the second that they do, we can't give raw veggies anymore. Okay. So this is they're kind of just gnawing on it. You can see that jaw working, and they're sort of taking the puree off of whatever they're gnawing on. Another good option for that, like to work the jaw, would to be get those silicone spoons, right? They have those dipper spoons, and you dip in the puree and you're working that. If they are breaking pieces off, then we are going to go with it has to be, if you can smash it between your fingers, then it's safe for them to eat. Either they hold it in their hand, so it's a long stick form, where they're holding and sort of putting in their mouth and breaking those pieces off. So big steamed broccoli stalks are a good one. Steamed asparagus, they hold onto that and sort of munch on it, is a really good one. Or it's small enough for them to pick up. So I say the size of your pinky nail, steamed, or like ground meat. Ground meat is good. You can sort of break it apart when you mash it with your fingers, and they can do the same thing with their gums. So that's kind of like your starting point until you start to get comfortable with what they can do. Toast is a really good one. Break it off into strips. You can smear whatever you want on toast. And they sort of just gnaw on that too, and it kind of melts, and it's messy, but that's part of it, right?
Yeah, totally. Well, you mentioned steamed. Are we trying to
Yes.
make the vegetables mushy, or is it just to make them a little bit more soft?
You want them you want them mushy. I'm going to say mushy. Because like if you're steaming a broccoli stalk, you want it to be able to easily come off, because the more work they put in, the bigger chance they're going to bite something big off. Whereas they have a banana and they go in the mouth and it's soft and they sort of pull away, they're going to grab something, right? And start moving it around and swallowing it. If it's just a little soft, they can work on it, but they have a bigger chance of pulling a bigger chunk off, and then they can't break that up. The goal is, what you have to think about is that they need to be able to break it up with their gums, and your fingers are a good judge of that.
Okay.
So if you just sort of cook broccoli a little bit where it's softer, it's not raw, but you need teeth to shred and break it. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference, right? So I'm saying smushable.
Smushable.
Now,
I like it.
you can roast them. Like you can roast veggies enough where they're smushable, right? Like sweet potatoes are a great one. Even Brussels sprouts. I mean, nothing is off limits. It's all about how you modify and create it. So I don't want you to think that, even like they say, don't give hot dogs, right? Big choking hazard. Don't give grapes. Those are big choking hazards. But if you slice them, they're no longer choking hazards. Okay. So it's, and a lot of times parents are struggling with, well, we eat this and I don't know what to make baby. they should be eating whatever you're eating. So if you're making spaghetti and meat sauce with broccoli, you modify it for baby. Cut it up, steam their broccoli a little more if you guys don't like smushed broccoli. But it should be the same meal, just modified for them.
Something you mentioned earlier that I thought was really interesting that I didn't realize plays a role in all this are your baby's teeth, especially if they're teething and there's discomfort with this, right? So is there anything we should keep in mind when transitioning to these solid foods and our babies are teething at the same time?
I mean, those raw veggies, they might like to gnaw on that raw veggie when they're teething. It feels good. That pressure on those teeth coming out feels really nice to them. Throw a carrot in the freezer and they might really enjoy it. Now, some parents are just going to be like, I can't mentally do that. And so they have these mesh things that baby holds, and they're mesh, and you shove things inside of it. Anything can go in there, but make it hard so that when they're chewing on it, now we're getting that muscle work. So, apple pieces, frozen apple pieces, put that in there. I mean, the amount of work they would have to do to break that up is just so good for the jaw. And the more they use those gums, the easier it is for them to teeth. The teeth to come out, right? The tissues are kind of broken down, they're used, and the teeth will erupt easier.
You mentioned some foods that are considered kind of no-nos, the hot dogs, the grapes, but you said, if you cut them up, it depends on kind of how you're serving this. Are there other things that you would lump into that category? Let's assume we don't have the little mesh contraption that our kids can suck on. Are there other foods that fall into that category that you're like, that's kind of a no-no, a choking hazard?
Like apple, you can give apple, cut it really thin, right? And you can give an apple slice. The foods that I would absolutely not give until they had teeth, we've been practicing chewing, I know you can eat really well, and I'm watching you, is popcorn, nuts, and candy. There's no way to manipulate those that is safe, in my opinion, unless you put the nuts in a blender and they're blended up.
So it's like powder.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, good to know. Well, thank you, Mallory. If you guys want more information about Mallory, you can check out her website. It's thefeedingmom.com. She does video consultations, so you can work one-on-one with her. She also has some courses on her site, so check that out. I want to send a special thanks to Regalo Baby, who is the sponsor for today's video. If you visit their website, you can save 25% on everything plus free shipping simply because you're watching our video. Look for our special promo code in the video description. Also, newmommymedia.com. That is our website, and you can check out more great videos like this. We also have lots of podcasts, some blog posts. Everything is designed for new and expecting moms. It's where real moms talk about real life.